name is Tom Nethersole.
Hi, my name is Tom Nethersole.
Today is the 14th of July, 2022.
14th of July, 2023.
I'm 18 years old.
I am 19 years old.
As of today, I have 1,797 Instagram followers.
2,285 Instagram followers.
On TikTok, I have 11.6 thousand followers.
On TikTok, I have 24.7 thousand followers.
This photo of Robert and I.
It's my post about being on Australian Idol, Oz Idol audition course. Australian Idol was not even on my radar this time last year. Wow, look at this. I was really trying to turn it out and present an image, I think.
I think try not to look at the numbers as much. I think that's something that's really important, and try not to get into the habit of looking at how many followers you have, how many comments a video has, how many likes, stuff like that.
While I don't look at likes on Instagram or anything anymore, I have sometimes fallen into the habit of looking too much at, how many views a video has or something like that. I think at this time I was really concerned about comments that were being made. Even if it was just 1 out of 500 comments and it said something slightly negative, that really just it hit an insecurity that was already there. But I think it's not that deep usually, and I think my advice to my future self is to try and put in place really healthy habits and try and connect yourself with the people who genuinely will support you and make you feel good. Take moments here and there to recognize the growth that you've had, and I think try and be not as hard on yourself.
I think basing our success on quality over the amount of views something has is much better for the longevity of our career.
I think that's fair, but I also think that in order to have a prosperous career, especially in social media, there has to be a large enough reach or a large enough following or engagement for brands or for people to, be incentivized to work with you. So I think that, I think that's fair. I mean, I also think that the metrics can be important, but I still agree.
I think in the past there's definitely been times where I wished that I would have been in a relationship, but looking back on that now, I'm so much more grateful that I didn't.
This boy is lying. I don't think that this is true at all. I think that this man right here wanted to be in a relationship.
Having incredible friends that, almost take on the role of a romantic person.
It's interesting that I say that because I think at the time I thought that I just had really close friends. My support network was really strong, and people that I just loved so much that it was almost in a romantic way. But I think looking back at this now, the line between friendship and dating was very blurred for me. And because I've never been in a serious relationship like that, it was hard for me to differentiate platonic love and what was romantic love. What are you most looking forward to? Ooh, I feel like I'm most looking forward to the release of Meant to Be Alone, my next single, at the start of August. I think that's going to be a really interesting and exciting release, and I think it's going to be very different from, all the other releases I've had this year, because all the other songs that I've released so far have been very upbeat songs. It'll be interesting to see how people respond to a sadder and more vulnerable and just a more personal kind of song. So yeah, I think the biggest thing I've learned is that honesty goes such a long way. I think not lying to yourself about the way that you're feeling, but also being honest with someone else, being open in the moment when I am dealing with that, and not telling them that I've dealt with it in the past, but in the moment when I am feeling like that, being vulnerable enough to tell them that I'm struggling and stuff like that.
There's been times where I've just done stuff that was really stupid, just very inconsiderate and not healthy or helpful or kind at times to myself or others.
You can tell how the guilt of this one thing that I did was eating away at me. Even this was probably 3 or so years after it had happened, and it was still, the guilt of it was eating away at me. Yeah.
Be quick to love and be slow to judge. That's a really good quote.
Be quick to love, and that's not good. I don't think that you should be quick to love, and I think that was a problem. As we've discussed, that was a problem around this time of me being completely infatuated with someone so quickly. I don't think that going to love so quickly is always the best, and I think that leads to some songs being written. My philosophy is to be kind and be passionate.
I think family's important, but it's not the be-all, end-all. I think a lot of the time, especially for queer people, chosen family is such a big thing.
I think that's actually a cop-out answer, and I think that was me avoiding at the time that I was kind of distancing myself from my family a little bit. I think because, I was in therapy at the time and going through a lot of my childhood with, the psychologist and stuff and talking about that kind of stuff, there was a little bit of resentment and like strong emotions, obviously tied to my family, and I think I wanted to kind of just not face that, and so I kind of distanced myself a little bit. But especially within the last year, I've become closer with my family than I ever have, and I think that's really, really beautiful, and I'm so, so grateful for it, because family is something that not everyone gets the privilege of having, and if they do, it might not be for a long time. And I think I'm trying to just be really, really grateful for my family. I think as all my siblings and I have kind of grown up, it's so nice to see us go from these kids who live in the same house to being these grown adults who are friends. And I feel like that's really, really beautiful, and I really, really cherish that.
I hope you're happy. I hope that you're doing the most to make yourself happy. You're not making yourself smaller to accommodate for other people. You're putting your effort into the people who matter the most to you and who reciprocate the love that you give them. I hope you're famous and hot and sexy and wealthy and have lots of freedom. I hope you're living a life that you're proud of, but not living a life just to please other people, but also please younger versions of yourself like me. I think you've got to do what you've got to do, and please your current self first, and serve to be pleasing your future self, not be pleasing your past self, because the past self don't have the knowledge and the experiences that you do.
Wow, that was that's so interesting. I think just be unapologetically you. Be hot and be sexy and be kind. Just take every day as a blessing. Just be wildly and scarily passionate about life. I think that's what I want for you really, really badly. I mean, I agree with 2022 me. I think that do the things that make you happy and do the things that bring you energy. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Nethersole, and I'll see you next year.